eating snacks.
Oh, what it do, Snackers, Snack S, and Snack X's. It's your boy Gage. I got Jokes with me. I got Sin with me, and we have a very special guest, Hellspawned. Now listen, I don't. Let me do this before we even dig into the rest of the intro. Before we go too far, there's a couple things I have to say. First of which is Sin. Who's my favorite superhero that isn't Spider-Man?
Oh, well, that's easy. I think it goes by the name of Spawn.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You know what I'm saying? And we got this cosplayer here who just so happens to be Hellspawned Cosplay. I shouldn't call you a cosplayer, should I be? Because you're so much more than that. But I see that's like hey, Jokes, get the chat in here. Let's get the chat in here, man. Yeah, man, I love me some Spawn. I'm a super duper super Spawn fan, right? Have been for a long time. And we're gonna talk about He-Man. Because I'm also a huge He-Man fan. Very huge He-Man fan. And I want you to know, right? That like, see, hold on, look. We can look, we can just wham.
Just a
give you a little. That's what I'm talking about.
Try. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Right there up front. Now, I don't have one of those yet. Right? I don't have one of those. Doctor Who, what
Doctor
up?
Who?
But I have my listen. But I brought out my Castle Grayskull because
oh snap!
Look, he looking like, oh, my sitting right here.
What up, Rodney? Now I'll be honest with you that my jaw bridge, JAW, my jaw bridge is missing. You know what I'm saying? Look at all that. Now I took all the rest of it out.
I gutted it.
Right?
You gutted yours? Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Now my Snake Mountain's over there too. I'm not going to get that. I'm not doing the Snake Mountain right now too, but you know what I'm saying? I gotta keep it, you know what I'm saying? I gotta keep it a buck. Like I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make that clear before we go too far. Perp, what up? Salute. Heather, what's up? Rodney, long time no see.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you today, Rodney. See, look.
He owes you money.
Thinking about you today.
How much he owe you? How much he owe you?
Not even a little bit. Not even a tad. Am I hyped for the Batman Spawn joint? I am, bruh. I'm so hyped for that joint because I love Todd McFarlane too. Todd McFarlane has my favorite run of Spider-Man ever. Period. Like that first run of Torment when he took it over from Marvel was like incredible. I do want you to know, Rodney, that a little while ago. Go ahead, Sam.
So I happen to be
had this shirt on.
I did, but I changed because we had on the same shirt.
He went and put on the shirt after he saw.
No, I did not. Shut up, Jokes. I had it on. I decided to wear that for the show tonight.
Yeah. So look, as per the norm, before we go too far, Jokes, you have a job to do. Can you do that for me, please? Look, for all y'all that are hanging out in the chat with us, Jokes is gonna put our Beacons link up. Beacons is just the easiest way to find us across the board on everything we do, everywhere we are. So yes, there's a TikTok. Sin, are you dancing on our TikTok yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, not yet. I like the
listen. I like the yet part.
I like that.
There it is. So just y'all make sure you get on the TikTok and just stay tuned for however long it takes. Just stay tuned.
There you go. There you go.
I think we are.
Just in case. There's bound to be some sort of an anime TikTok that requires dancing that Sin will have to participate in. It has to happen. Even if I have to create it myself. Like it has to happen.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Like it has to happen.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt. So look, please like and share. Follow us across the board. We're not going to dig too much into that because we want to spend some time on our guests. But before we do that, Sin, you have a job to do. So if you would.
Yes, let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dorsch, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We really
Hey, look, Cuddy already offering you drinks.
Oh,
How many
really?
drinks does it take?
Look, it would take a lot.
You know,
What is your definition of a lot?
but listen. Nah. Hey, Cuddy, how much money you got? Because I bet you we can get Sin up to a specific amount of money when we do our extra life.
Y'all
You know
stop bringing
And
the
once-
children into this.
And once he hits a certain dollar amount threshold, he might just have to do a TikTok dance. Like, I just feel like we can make that happen. Like, that feels like an attainable goal somewhere in like the $1,000 range. Like, if Sin hits $1,000, he must record a TikTok dance. Like, that sounds.
Stop with that face. I see you with that face.
It sounds so easy. And why wouldn't you want to do it? It's for the kids. It's what, you know what I'm saying? It's what we do. It's why Extra Life happens the way it does every year. So, you know what I mean? It's only a few months away. Saying you got plenty of time to get your dance moves together.
Figure out what dance you gonna do, my dude.
Sis, stop it.
Right now, Sin talk about.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Sin
saying?
right there,
Look,
Sin right there thinking about like, man, FTK.
there it is. It just means
Hey, that was fun.
I like it.
That's exactly
It took him a second.
Because I was probably saying the words like, man.
I legit saw the light bulb, just like, hey.
Yep, it's real out here. All right, so listen. Look, I don't. We can pick on Sin all day, and I'm sure Jokes likes that because usually we picking on Jokes. But right now we need to talk to my good man Hellspawned. So first and foremost, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You're very welcome. I appreciate you taking the time. Hey, look, we have a lot to talk about. So I don't. Let's do this. Let's start by just getting a little background on you from you. How would you pitch yourself to the audience that's watching?
Okay. So I am a father of a almost 3-year-old little boy. I'm an electrician. I've been cosplaying for the last 5 years, and I'm that guy that people just say, damn, he's kind of either really, really fortunate or lucky, or he just knows how to grab lightning in a bottle. You know, at some point you have to stop thinking that it's happenstance and start thinking that it's based on the work that you've done. Sure. And you know, you're put in places to do things because you're not full of shit. So
sometimes some things are just meant to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, listen.
Hard work sometimes equals meant to be.
There is that, you know. But I was in San Diego and Comic-Con, and like I was sitting in Hall H. Once you get into Hall H for the Marvel panel, whenever you get in that hall, you stay in there. You watch whatever panels are out there.
You don't come out.
You do not leave. You know. Yeah. But they were smart to have an all women's panel right before Marvel's panel. Because if people wanted to get in, you know, they were going to have to hear what these women had to say. Yeah, and you know, there was a lot of like discussion about, you know, misogyny and how the business really sucks and how men have run shit into the ground. Cool, but there was this one quote by this woman named Dulce, who's a black woman comedian, and she says, you know, whatever is for you is for you. So don't worry about what you didn't get. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't meant for you.
Sure.
You know, and if you keep trying to go that route, you're going to do nothing but run into roadblocks that's going to stunt you and then therefore, you know, embitter you. So, you know, just, you know, she wasn't basically saying, you know, go where you're invited, but that's essentially where she was saying, because, you know, wherever you're truly invited, that's where you thrive.
You know?
So as far as like my perspective on things, you know, I am very much of a person who, I don't believe in goals. I believe in results, because because goals change, results don't. You
Mm.
know, so at the end of the day, if I'm able to make something happen, whether it's because I showed up or it's because I vouched for someone else or it's because, you know, I really did put the work in for it to look the way that it did,
Yeah.
then I'm going to go off of that, and I'm going to make sure that everyone that was a part of that gets credited, um and then know that it was a fucking team effort. It wasn't just
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I
I
can
mean,
be
look,
the catalyst, but I won't be the entire thing.
you're super busy. And that's probably an understatement. But and you've been busy, I think, since I've known you. I think you've always been. You know, I want to say I think the first time I met you, I'm pretty sure you were in a Sub-Zero cosplay.
Okay.
Um,
Damn.
but the first time I really talked to you, I'm gonna say was at maybe Magfest,
What up, J. Robert?
also in a Sub-Zero cosplay. And Charles was there.
Yeah. That was when we did the Punk Mortal Kombat joint. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty. So J. Robert Deans, what up? Dark Iceman, what's up, man? Tardy as usual. I appreciate you for being consistent. You know what I'm saying? I love your consistency. Um, but since then, like you're constantly on the move, doing something, consistently growing, and I kind of just want to talk about, look, at 38, you started cosplay 5 years ago.
Mhm.
What made you start cosplaying at that age, at like 33?
um, well, I got a divorce.
Ah, okay.
um, yeah, my ex-wife and I used to compete in amateur bodybuilding competitions for the NPC,
Yeah.
and that summer of 2017. So we got divorced. It was finalized in May, and
Okay.
I had scheduled 3 competitions one weekend after the other.
Mm,
So I was like in peak week 3 times in a row throughout a month.
yeah.
And when you've been doing that for, because we did that for like what, 2 or 3 years together,
Mm,
that's enough time to get accustomed to having a certain type of support system.
yeah.
And when you're trying to keep your diet straight, you're trying to keep your workout straight. When you get into the headspace of drinking 3 gallons of water a day for 4 days, and then it dropped down to 1, and doing the whole peak week shit, like it gets really like taxing on your mental and your emotional state. So you know doing that doing those last 3 shows by myself without her, it just turned me off to the entire thing.
Mm,
And I needed something different. I need something different to do. And the I don't know if, I mean, I've been collecting action figures and comics and toy, all kinds of stuff since I was 4, thanks to my
sure.
mom. So, I've got a limited edition Green Lantern, that lights up when you put your fist to it. Like I've got the original Turbo Man from Jingle All the Way. You know
Ooh,
what I mean?
got
Like
one of them
it's
in the closet.
Right.
yeah, with the Tiger Direct on it, not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Target
Yeah.
shit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got that specific one, right?
Right.
Uh, but I've had a lot of stuff that I've collected over the years that could very well lend into cosplay.
Sure.
And when I got in, I knew that I was artistic, or at least had some sort of deeper side to myself than the shallow version of myself that I was back in 2017. And I wanted to express me getting out of a marriage that proved to be something that I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
And so that's why my first cosplay was Kratos. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
I shaved the head, got painted all white, and went out and did that. And then when I came home, like that was like my being able to wash those ashes from my skin.
Mm,
That was kind of like me being like reborn type deal from the old life to now what I'm doing now. So
got you.
like that was what I kind of held to myself like for years, and I because I didn't really have a reason to articulate that to anybody.
Yeah.
um But then when people actually started asking me, like, why did you get into cosplay? I'm like, oh well, shit, like that
Might
was
as well
why.
just yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a real thing, right? Like it's just kind of it was a way of turning over a new leaf and being able to take something else that you love. Like I don't,
Mhm.
I don't know if you loved bodybuilding the way you love collecting or the way you're into pop culture, but I
No,
know
that
that as a collector, it's easy for us to get into something and stay into something.
yeah. And see, the thing is the drug aspect of bodybuilding
Mm.
is knowing that you are a specific a specific percentage of the population, whereas
Mm.
you resemble what we have all come to know and love as either superheroes
Mm.
or the gods of mythology. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you look
yeah,
like a fucking comic book character when you are dried out and emaciated to a degree, but then yet your lats are flared. You got 8-pack. You don't have a 6-pack because that
hmm
the lower abdomen that came out. And like you feel a certain way when you walk into a room with your gallon of water and like your woman's next to you, or saying you're there with your boys and you all have like your chest is up and like
yeah, 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 yeah,
you walk into a place, like, and that is, I think, the appeal to that culture, to that,
yeah,
because
yeah.
everyone looks at you in a way that they wish that they could be that kind of way. Like it kind of
Sure.
happened. It kind of happened when I walked into that room with Jade last week. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
because okay, so I went to San Diego as press for Three Black Geeks.
yeah,
They got their media outlet. Two of them I went to high school with and graduated with two of them. So like
yeah,
one of them
yeah.
couldn't go, so they offered me a space. I was like, sure, I'll
Which is
go.
dope. Yeah,
So um, I was trying to ship. I got a Leviathan axe from God of War.
yeah.
Got sold to me for
Oh,
$50
yeah.
lesser, just because I showed the guy my Kratos cosplay.
The
He was like,
Kratos. Yeah,
I just I knock $50 off here. You can take that shit because that looks
yeah.
good. I'm like, thank you. Um, but yeah, so I had to ship that thing,
hmm
because you can't take it on a plane with you. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
got some real metal in it, but it took me a while to ship it, and I had to haul ass from the convention center to the Hilton Hotel where they had the round table interviews happening with the various entities
Yeah,
or production
yeah.
and stuff. And the one that we had scheduled at that time was with AEW. And so I finally get there and I'm in full Cyclops cosplay with my visor down and my,
Mhm.
my mask up, which is black and shit. So I walk into the door and I didn't realize that everyone else in the room was going to be as small as they were, except for the wrestlers. Chris Jericho was in there, um,
It's dope.
Jade and CM Punk, right? So like
Mm.
everyone kind of like looked at me as I came through the door, and
Oh, is he one of them? Is
Yes,
he?
it wanted.
With
right,
yeah, yeah.
right, and that was something that Jade had said. I was like, "Who is this big dude?" You know what I mean? And
hmm
I'm waiting for Chris to let me know if he got that on video because
yeah,
it's one thing to have people that you're around all the time tell you that you're a big dude, but somebody who wrestles and is
yeah.
around other fucking like big dudes
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to tell you that you're a big guy like that kind of hits different.
yeah.
But
I can
that's the
imagine.
that's the mentality that I kind of brought to my conversation with Jade. You
Yeah.
know, the only thing I asked her was like, you want to flex with me? And she was like, she
Like
was like,
that.
Let's do this. Let's
she was,
do
she was like, she said that she's like, let's do it. I'm excited. And now, what I mean, like I said, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, damn, like I don't think I've seen too many other photos with Jade with other dudes, let
Yeah,
alone dudes that
Mm.
look like they could like
Yeah.
wrestle her if they
yeah,
wanted to.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like I don't know, man. I'm very fortunate to be in some of the rooms that I've been in, and and even when you pulled me to the side, Gage, you pulled me to the side at BlurredCon, was like, I want to, talk to you, see if we can get something together. Like, I was like, shit, like, y'all ain't never want to talk to me online before. So I was like, oh, all right. And then the thing is, you said that, and I felt that way while talking to Dr. Jason Johnson from
Jason
MSNBC.
Johnson, yeah.
Right. So when you pulled me to this, like, I want to holler at you, I was like, oh, okay. And then like I was like, wait a minute, Lone Snacks, MSNBC, but dope. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, okay,
yeah.
all right.
Hey, listen, that's fun. It's funny you say that because somebody else said that to me recently. Like, I ain't never, I wanted to do something with y'all, for a minute. And it's not, it's weird because it's not like that's a thing that we don't want to do. It's just that like, in the short time, really, I say short time, but compared to how long we've been doing Loading Snacks, in the short time that we've been doing live shows, that was a thing that didn't kick off until we didn't really have a choice because the pandemic came in, right?
Mhm.
And so,
Adapt or die, baby.
but it's not like we'd shot with you before, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and interviewed or whatever. Like, we had talked before. It was just like when I saw you, I didn't know you were gonna be at BlurCon. So I got excited when I saw you because I was like, oh shoot, I've been meaning to reach out, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So when I saw you, and then it just so happened, it's funny thing is, like, I didn't realize you were talking to Jason Johnson until after I talked to you. That's why I doubled back. I was like, hold up. That was
right. I saw that.
Right. I was like, hold up. That was Jason Johnson. Let me go over here and holler at him real quick.
The thing is, I didn't know who he was until you said something, until you came back.
Really?
Because he approached me and he thought my name was Brandon. You know,
oh, no, that's
like,
me.
No,
that's me.
No, screw it. No, like, no,
I'm
no
over
bullshit.
here.
No bullshit. I got text messages from him calling me Brandon.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, no. He's like, well, I thought so we haven't been introduced before. I'm like, no. And like, I'm saying, I really don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
But he went from we haven't talked before. I'm like, no. But it's like, well, I love your work with Icon and your son Kawhi. Like he pronounced my son's name correctly.
Yeah, so he knows.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know. And then you came, you were like, what's up? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? And then you double back and then you said MSNBC, right? I'm like,
oh yeah.
And then it hits, it's like,
yeah.
And then after you left, I was like, so you know people, huh? Listen, I got this documentary that I want you to watch. You know, and then that's when I just went into like full like producer mode and was like, how can we get this out to more people so that it can make a difference? So yeah, he's man, I spent a good amount of time with him out there in San Diego, like a good amount of time.
That's good. That's very good. Speaking of which, I know you did spend some good time in San Diego. I wanna take a look at some of the stuff that you shot because you brought up the documentary. So Jokes, if you wouldn't mind, can you grab Hellspawn's link out of the captions and throw it up for everybody? And while we're doing that, I just want to. So Anthony Cunningham said, "Big props to you. My wife did some amateur figure and dieting for competition. It's no joke." J. Robert Dean specifically said, "What if you have a 1-pack asking for a friend?" Which I know who his friend is.
listen, a 1-pack can lift like 400 pounds if you're a power lifter, my guy. So don't even worry about that.
Hey, you know that's a real thing.
It's all about where you put your energies. That's all it is.
Exactly. So look, all of you guys can see right there is Hellspawn's link tree. So I want y'all to make sure you click on that and go follow across the board. There's some really, really dope links in there. One of which happens to be a documentary that he did, and I want to talk about that documentary a little bit. It's a Juneteenth documentary, but it is specifically a Juneteenth documentary that showcases cosplayers as African deities, which I think is really really dope. So just I know that you worked on putting it together for quite some time, and then it it all came together. I love what the final product is. Talk to me a little bit about just where that came from, where you felt the need to do that from. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, okay, so my grandmother did a lot of Juneteenth like advocacy down in Polk City, Florida, back in the 90s. And she was able to get a couple like picnics, done. I mean, just something, but it was something that was near and dear to her heart. I was just like shooting the shit with some of my folks, and I was thinking like, I can do a photo shoot for that weekend,
Mhm.
just to do something nice. Because I'll be the first one to say that my cosplay mentor is Eric Moran. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
he'll be the first one, like the smoke. He'll be the first one to say, how can I help you? Or
Sure.
what do you need done? What can we do to help type shit? So the first thing that I ever really got invited to back in 2017 was SmokeCon. And
Mm.
SmokeCon is uh basically it's an in-house photo shoot with like 3 or 4 photographers, and it's all day, and it's at Smoke's house, and you have like 30, 40 cosplayers that he invites, and you just spend the entire day taking photos of all of the cosplays that you
Mm.
have at the time. And the thing is, in order for you to progress in cosplay on a professional level, or at least in a way that makes sense, you need to have professional photography done.
Sure. Yeah.
Taking pictures on with your cell phone, if it's not a good grade of cell phone, if you don't have like a good light or whatever, inside of like your living room, just does not cut it. Like
Right.
you can have like the most awesome cosplay in the world, but if it's for poor photography, it's not going to work. It's not going to pop.
Yeah.
So he understands this as a veteran, and as one of the OGs, he's like, some of these young cats need help because they don't know what the fuck to do.
Right.
So my mindset with the Juneteenth thing is that when I thought about it initially, I was always about the African gods and goddesses. Like when American Gods came out and Anansi was played by Orlando Jones, I was like, yo, we finally getting some real representation out of this bitch. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like and then Bilquis was on there. I was like, all right, saying we good.
Doing something.
Um,
Yeah.
right. And and the thing is that you just don't see us. You don't see our culture anywhere. I mean, you watch the anime Record of Ragnarok.
Mm.
Where was the black folks in that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I stopped watching after like 3 episodes because the shit was so I didn't like it, but whatever. So
Sure.
but then in my mind also, I know some really pretty cosplayers,
Sure.
and they just don't have the opportunities to take photos the way that they would want to. So I was like, well, let me afford them
An
the
opportunity.
opportunity to just look beautiful in
Yeah.
black, you
Yeah.
know. And we were going to do it on Juneteenth, and I started planning for it 7 months in advance.
Yeah.
And I got the permits for the park, and then I had to get like the right person who actually lived in the city to get the permit for like
Yeah.
$75 as opposed to the $450. You know what I mean? Like they do that
Yikes.
because this is
Right.
Bowie. Like
Right.
you in Maryland, this is Bowie.
Yeah.
Bowie kind of bougie. So um they so yeah, like and then we ended up getting everything together, and folks flew in from like New York, Atlanta,
Yeah.
some people drove in from North Carolina, Philadelphia, and it we turned a lot of heads at
Yeah.
the park
Oh,
because no
sure.
one knew what the
Mhm.
hell was going on.
Yeah.
And then Biden didn't make it a federal holiday until like 2 or 3 days prior to.
Yeah. Before it happened. Yeah.
Right. So it was
Doctor Who said, "Don't speak bad on my city." Hey, let me tell you something, Doctor Who. If you claiming Bowie, it's only because you're there now. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
It's
Look,
only
look,
because
look,
you're there
look,
now.
look. We talk about Bowie's being bougie, and this motherfucker called himself the doctor.
Well, that's a lady, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
might be
But
a doctor.
still.
Like I like it. Like
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the doctor. Right. Right. The
yeah, but
doctor in Bowie.
it's Doctor Who gives a fuck. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
Right.
Doctor and Bowie.
But yeah, the whole premise, it just was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Having people come in and then celebrate Juneteenth for the first time a national holiday, and then
Mm.
I was I was able to secure a couple of videographers that a media company that was willing to you know ask questions and
Mm-hmm.
document things, and then they came to me and was like, we really have something here where we can like turn into like a real documentary.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, cool, and then you know I had wanted originally, because the thing is like there are some people out there who's wondering like, okay, you got Anubis, you got Seknet, you got you got Tefnut, you got all these African gods, and yet here comes this dude as Kratos. Right? Like, why is this dude Kratos in a African mythology, situation? I'm like, well, because I read comics, because there was that time that the transition from God of War 3 to God of War PS4, there was a series of books that detail Kratos' journey to get to Norse mythology. And in one of the books, he meets up with some African gods. And these African gods chilled him the fuck out. They mellowed him.
Brought him down. Yeah.
They made him realize that there is life worth living. And that's when he was able to, find his love in Norse mythology, whatever, and then end up giving birth to Loki of all things. But I mean, but yeah, so like it, and like it's completely canon for him to have met with other gods from other pantheons. It's in the games, it's all over the place, so it makes sense. But what makes sense on a visceral level? What makes sense on a way that makes things pop? So again, I'm one of those cosplayers that I don't like dressing up as an action oriented character and not do action oriented shit. So there's a couple of guys that have like armored cosplays that look dope as all hell, and they were down for like having like a real fight with me. So the idea was to have all these black faces come together against the one singular threat that has been known to take out entire pantheons before. And he just so happened to have a white face.
What's up, Alfonso?
So if we're looking at the symbolism of it all, all of the diaspora was coming together to combat the one white face that was a threat to them all. And then that kind of got nixed due to the amount of time and the amount of heat was out there. People were sweating and like makeup was running and all that shit. So we just want to make sure we got the substance, which was the questions and answers and people talking about it. And it took these guys close to a year to get, a little bit over a year, to get me the documentary. And when you're working with people who are not that well versed in communication to get something done, you might get frustrated. You feel like you're getting ghosted because you go 3 months of talking to yourself in a DM. You start calling them, doing like what's good, we don't spend this money, and like where's the product, and like I'm trying to promote for the next year, and I can't do that without the documentary. And so I had one of those moments where I rallied the troops, like to get a response from them, since y'all weren't going to respond to me. Like let's
get everybody on board.
Let's start because like one of my other nicknames is CVS, because I'm always about the receipts. So I'm never going to say something that's not true or that can't be proven. Because I've got the receipts. So I started putting that out there on Facebook. Like that seems kind of jacked up. I've been talking to myself for 3 months about this fucking
haven't heard anything.
And then like started tagging them. Like what's good. And by about 2 hours later, I get a phone call. Like, man, I've been out of the country, man. I'm sorry. I'm like you couldn't tell him, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you just be out of the country? Just okay. Tell me,
Yeah. So they finally got it to me, and it's great. It's 28 minutes of and it inspires a lot of someone wanting to do research. To see what, because like that was the homework that I gave the cosplayers before they came out. I was like, go talk to your family, go talk to your grandmother, your granddaddy, like find out where you came from and cosplay somebody from that culture. Like somebody came as Baron Samedi because his culture is based in that, and then you had some folks came from like the Caribbean, so it was as diverse as it possibly could be, and it was as personal as it possibly could be, because these people had to put in real work to make sure that their families and their cultures were represented in a way that they knew I was going to put out there in a way that people were going to see it.
It was really cool to like just hear, just kind of hear people talking about, you know, we talk about representation a lot. You know what I mean, on this show, we talk about it a lot amongst ourselves, and we talk about it a lot in our pop culture stuff, in our comic books and in our TV shows and whatever. And we don't, you know, there is a battle for having representation exist in our school systems, so that we're not just teaching the things they want us to know, but we're learning about the truth of everything, right? And you know, to hear people, to see people in cosplay talking about learning about their own history, right? Learning about the gods, learning about how many of the other gods that we did get taught in school came from gods that were gods of color, regardless of what part of the world they came from. You know, it's just really dope, man. So it's a really good listen. For everybody who's watching, it's a really dope documentary. If you hit the link and go to the link tree, there's a link there for you to be able to go directly to the YouTube and watch the documentary. I highly recommend you do it. Again, it's 28 minutes.
It's quick.
So it's a short watch, but it's good. It's super interesting. I really think you should take a look at it. I do want to show this image of you
Ooh.
as Kratos from there, which is super dope. And we're gonna look at some of your other work too. For those of you who were tuned in right at the very beginning, you all got to see this Hawkman cosplay. Where was that? That's at the Gaylord.
Yeah, that was a Katsucon
Yeah,
this year. And like Eric and I have a cosplay combat match set up.
Is that so?
Yeah, between Black Adam and Hawkman. You know, so
That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
When's that going down? You know what I'm saying? I might need to be there.
From what he tells me, he wants to do this like late September.
Okay.
Late September. Because this is July. Yeah, some August, September timeframe. That's what he wants to do. I'm like, all right, we'll do it. We'll get it done.
We're gonna show this one from your namesake. You know what I mean?
That suit, boy. Whew.
Hey, bro, listen.
I love that suit.
That suit looks like it's incredibly hot to wear.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
hot to wear.
Yes, yes, Aldous Hodge has. I met him again. I met him at San Diego, and like someone tapped him on the shoulder. He looked at me. He's like, "Hey, I know you." I'm like, yeah, I know you, because he shared the one of my my reels of the cosplay being put together and all that stuff. And yeah, like he's like, I'm basically hanging out as like two Hawkmen, and then
yeah,
if you look at the video, he wants to compare wingspans. I'm like, like I'm like, yo, like, because in my mind, the first thing came was like, but my nigga, yours is CG. Like
listen, Doctor Who actually asked, because Doctor Who does cosplay. Doctor Who asked, she asked, how did you make the wings?
Oh, bought them through Etsy.
Dope.
See, so this is my cosplay way, is that I buy and then I modify. Okay. I modify things based on the lore of the character that I am portraying at the time. So, you know, case in point, there is a very specific, very common Sub-Zero tabard that people buy from Etsy. Like it's blue, it's got like the black leather, like the buckles and stuff on it. It looks dope as shit. But you know, to me, like the reason why my Sub-Zero stands out from everyone else's is because I have these leather like dragon gauntlets that I got from Otakon, you know, that year of 2017, and I've got leather greaves, you know, to go with it. Now, how can I make that into something that makes sense for the character? Well, in Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, that was when Sub-Zero got the Dragon Medallion. And that's when he got his power boost, and where his eyes turned from blue to white. Right. And then that was his path to becoming like the Grand Master. So in my mind, if I had that same tabard, but I had the same Dragon Medallion that was in the game etched in or stitched into the lapel, and then the lin kuei joint stitched on the other side, then that gives me the reason, lore wise, to have white out eyes, like a dragon, like face mask with the dragon gauntlets with the claws and shit. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And that sets me apart from everybody else. So I am not that skilled at making cosplays, but I am skilled in knowing the characters that I cosplay and making it work for the lore and for myself.
What's your most uncomfortable cosplay?
Most uncomfortable.
Like what's the one you would want to wear for the shortest amount of time? Like what's the one?
I would have to say, well, because the last time I wore the Spawn one, I was outside and it was like 50 degrees outside, so I was chilling. I was cool.
Oh, okay.
I might have been sweating a little bit, but it was cool. But I could still move, and I was fighting during that, so that was cool. I would have to say the Hawkman, because walking around, the Gaylord in 8 foot
wing,
with 8 foot wings, it ain't like folding yourself into the elevators, or make sure you don't hit people and stuff like that. Like that was harrowing. Yeah, that was a lot. Like there's some cosplays I just won't wear if I'm with my son, because it's a lot to maintain, and that's one of them.
Sure. Let me so of course we have the show, the He-Man joint.
Right.
And I do want to talk about this a little bit, because I also, I want people to, again, if you go and you check out the link tree, you'll see that there is a link. So there's a full article in Men's Health, which is awesome. That you got that. This is one of the images from Men's Health with a bunch of other people that we know. You know what I mean? That cosplay with you. This is really dope. What was that like to have to be recognized by by Men's Health for cosplay? Again, considering that like you come from a background of like bodybuilding and so forth. Yeah.
One, the bodybuilding aspect didn't even really occur to me when I was talking to Men's Health. Like it should have been, but that's not what the subject matter was.
Sure.
And again, I'll always say that everything that I've done has been a team effort to a degree. So the story behind Men's Health is like they approached Haas, the VP of BlurredCon, to talk about BlurredCon, right? And he was like, I don't think I'm the right person for you to talk to. I'm not. He's like, I'm not the mouthpiece for BlurredCon. That's Hilton. Sure. So then they went to Hilton, and then they were like, Hilton was like, "You're Men's Health. Why are you talking to?" I know somebody you should talk to. and then that's when Hilton like hit me up. It was like, yo, talk to this person here from Men's Health. And then 2 to 3 weeks later, I had it was supposed to be a 10-minute conversation with the reporter just to get with the writer, excuse me, just to get like an idea as to what cosplay was. And we ended up being on the phone for like 4 hours.
Wow.
And and then like we ended up speaking for an additional, I think in total, I think it was 3 more phone calls, and each one was like 2 to 3 hours each. Wow. And like we just, and like she spoke to Richard, she spoke to Eric, she spoke to Lynn, she spoke to everyone that was in that photo, including like Wendell and stuff. And she was able to get like, a good rounded out picture as to what the Black cosplay community looks like and what we're here to do. And I might have been like the focus of it, but again, it's always going to be a team effort when we're trying to move something forward. And she acknowledged that. So again, like that was, it's cool, it's dope as shit, because again, we're trying to get Black cosplay into the mainstream. You kind of can't deny Men's Health, because that's a global magazine. That's
absolutely.
That's not an online publication, no shade to them, no shade to just like the local, like, city publications or anything like that. But if we're talking about as much as like global saturation of Black faces, that was like,
that's a solid,
that was a solid,
it's a solid move, man. So listen, here's what I want to do. There are a couple things we need to talk about. So we have to do a San Diego Comic-Con recap.
Okay.
So I love that you're here with us because you were there.
Round zero.
And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We absolutely have to we look, we have to discuss some of the things that happen in Hall H. We can't not do that. So we're gonna. And again, I just want to make sure before we begin to move that way, and again, we're gonna do this again at the end of the show. But again, the Linktree link for Hellspawn is in the chat. Jokes, post that one more time real quick.
Yeah.
Please make sure you go and you follow across everything else. Make sure you hit the Instagram. Again, there's a lot. For real.
Yeah,
You have more links in your link tree that I think I've ever seen in anybody else's.
Yeah. And ours was
For real. Like ours, like we got to the point where like we had to leave Linktree and go to somebody. Like we had to switch to beacons because we couldn't get any more links in there. So when I say somebody got a lot of links,
You got a lot
got a lot of links.
I mean,
bro, you got a lot of links.
listen, I just want to make sure that it's all like, and then that's not even everything because I know
Sure.
there's some interviews that I haven't put on there yet. But you know, if you're trying to build some level of credibility, you know, you kind of have to have one place to go, and that was kind of like one of the early on. That was one of the early lessons that I learned. But I tell you what, man, this past weekend or this past week, I was around some real like heavy hitters. You know, and like they welcomed me to the table, and it just, I sat back and I thought for a second, like, damn, like, you know, like I had a second to think, like, am I supposed to be here? You know, because one of the things that they have at San Diego is called the Black Panel, right? The Black Panel has Black creatives that have been in the industry. Like they were celebrating their 25th anniversary. Of coming together and talking. And like Michael Smith, wow. I mean, there was like a pantheon up there on that table, and I'm sitting next to Dr. Jason Johnson. You know, and then I got Urias behind me from Black Heroes Matter. And then like there was a couple other professors on the other side that I just got introduced to. You know, and then Afro Comic Con owners walk in, you know, and I'm introducing them to them, you know, because I work with Afro Comic Con too. So it was like, it just became like a hodgepodge of networking energy.
Networking at its finest. Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, yo, like this is where I'm supposed to be. And I got the best advice. I got the best fucking advice. And I started getting on it, and it's already starting to come to fruition. Like it's amazing.
Dig it.
That's dope, man. Like listen, I love to see it. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're making moves. Rodney Roberts, I see you in the comments. Look, there's never enough time to talk PC content. Never enough. Hey, listen, J. Robert Deans, where is Kidlet? I mean, I appreciate Kidlet's regards, but tell Kidlet we said hey. You know what I'm saying? What up, B? What's going on? Long time, bro. Miss you too. Let's do something. Let's pivot real quick. And Sin, when I say that, what do you think that means?
Probably a curveball or something along that line is going to get thrown at us.
Nah, Brian, I wouldn't do that to you. Would I do that to you?
Yes, you would.
Yes, you would.
Hey, man, let's take a look at this Black Panther trailer.
Let's go for it.
No cry. No woman, no cry. Don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry.
Hey, the imagery in this trailer
is
Good
beautiful.
friends we are,
It's phenomenal.
and good friends we know. Along the way.
Me too, J. Robert Deans.
I've been listening to those 3 tracks
In
they
this
released.
case, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears.
Oh, Robert, I'm watching like this.
Nah. I did that in the hall when they.
I believe it.
Everything's gonna
Correct.
be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
we can't not talk about it. So, Sin,
Yeah,
who was that in the Black Panther costume at the end of the trailer?
I'm going with Sherry.
Okay, jokes.
I'm actually going to. I'm sorry. I think it's Nakia.
Do you? Okay.
I think there may be a little slight swerve that they could do, but I think it can work.
Cheryl says Killmonger.
No.
Heather, if you are crying for something, you may have Kidley. You know Kidley.
Thank you for that information.
This is why I love this
I don't
show.
think I've ever heard
Lotion absorb? Me neither.
Feel like a power move.
Hellspawn, who do you think is Black Panther?
I gotta say, based on the comments, I gotta go with Nakia.
Okay.
Because
Rodney Roberts said he thinks they want us to think it's Shuri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Alfonso said Shuri.
but I think Nakia is because Shuri wasn't worthy at first. She wasn't worthy at first. So like she had to get some time to grow.
There is something to be said for the fact that Angela's character, like the Queen, says, "My entire family." Like Shuri's not there. Like I find that incredibly interesting. That my entire family is gone. I have to wonder about that. Look, yeah, we know that in the comics, Shuri definitely does. She takes up the mantle. There certainly could be more than one Black Panther.
There's been multiple suits before.
Sure, it's entirely possible. The idea of Shuri recreating the heart-shaped herb, the idea that there's a heart-shaped herb that comes from Atlantis or something, is a possibility. I am super excited about seeing this war between Atlantis and Wakanda. Very excited about Namor coming. Like J. Robert Dean said, I love the idea, the very Aztec look of Namor himself. Them even just in the trailer showing his birth, showing the finned foot, if you will, in that case. Could be that Winston Duke ends up in that position in some way. It could be M'Baku, but that figure doesn't look enough to like.
Nah.
It was all black with the fur over top. Like it looked like it was underneath, but I don't think that was just. I think that may have been like paying homage more or less to like Black Panther.
Yeah. J. Robert Dean said he also thinks that it's Nakia because it looks like Shuri is playing Tony to Riri's Peter, if that makes sense. And I don't like the way that those words came out when I said them.
But you got it.
But I understand what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, it stands to me to reason that Riri would be one of the students who would benefit from the educational program that T'Challa put in place at the end of the last movie, and that she is a standout and ends up in Wakanda. It just kind of makes sense. So I think that's dope. J. Robert Dean says one complains that we won't get an Invaders movie, but you are absolutely right. Brian said I did call then it was going to be Namor. Look, I was pretty sure once they talked about there being like underwater
earthquake. As soon as they said that, everyone was like,
listen, y'all. Everyone keeps talking about Namor. Like at the Atuma was on that stage too.
Yeah,
like Atuma was a problem.
Yeah,
for like a fucking problem.
Yeah,
so there's that. Don't forget about him. But then also, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but if you pay attention to the comics, like these people were funded by Dr. Doom. So I mean, he could very well show up in the post-credit scene.
There's no doubt.
And that be the real villain, like between him and Kang. I mean, let's go.
Hey, Doom gonna come out and try to take Kang's ability, take that like immortality type of thing away from him. That's the type of dude that he is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I just can't get excited about Fantastic Four. I'm not. It's not in my blood. I'm not
Ain't
allowed.
happening.
It
Not
doesn't
happening.
work. I can't get excited. Listen,
Dude, Feige,
second trailer.
trust,
Nope,
man.
nope, nope,
Yes.
nope, 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 nope.
He can do
Listen,
it. They can
listen
do
to
it.
me. Listen to me. The most exciting thing about the Fantastic Four is that Spider-Man sometimes is one of them. Outside of that, like, I liked the Future Foundation. I love Sue Storm. About it. Sue Storm is a threat, bruh. Like, if they do Sue Storm right, like, just let her fight Magneto. Just do it for me. Just, you know what I mean? I could be with that. Alfonso said, could she be talking about the snap when she said my family is gone? It's possible.
It's a possibility.
Possible.
It could be earlier than that. You know what I mean? It's one of those things
Yeah.
that, like, we've had some conversations about the snap and what it really means and how people were affected by it. Like it clearly is the thing that happened in Miss Marvel, but we don't know if it affected her family at all. Like, it doesn't appear that any of them got snapped. Zaina, I have a little faith in F4, very small amount, but it's there because it's finally MCU. And listen, I don't fault you for that, child of mine. However, this is not a thing about the other Fantastic Four movies not being good. It's not about Fan Four Stick not being good. It's about the Fantastic Four.
They're terrible.
It's about, like, it is about the
Fan Four.
Fantastic Four being kind of corny and like they need a reboot. And so if they do it the right way, sure. But we'll see we'll see who Johnny Storm is. And we'll go from there. J. Rob Dean said, I understand Gage's hesitance because, listen, first of all, Guardians of the Galaxy is fire. J. Robert Dean, I don't know how to help
for
He
it.
just don't
Yeah.
like James Gunn.
I want to help you, but I don't know how to help you. Guardians of the Galaxy, they're good. It's two good movies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're the best movies, but they're good movies. Like,
As long
I
as
don't know what you
James
want,
Gunn
man.
is involved,
You know what?
he
This is what
will
I need
not-
to know. J. Robert Deans, do you like Spaceballs? Just answer that question. All I need is a yes or a no. Do you like Spaceballs? I just need to know. And, like, I mean the movie, not like that's it. I know who I'm talking to. So let me just. Do you like Spaceballs the movie before you respond?
Because you know where he will go with it.
Oh, absolutely. Sam said if Jared Leto
only
isn't
one
playing
answer
any
to that
character in
question.
Fantastic Four, you're allowed to be excited about Fantastic Four. No.
I mean, we don't know
How
yet,
that
so
That's
don't
okay.
jinx that.
There goes your
Don't
answer.
jinx that.
There goes your answer.
And see, this is why
That wasn't even yes or no. It's
I
just
don't know what to do with you. All right. Let's Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Merchandising.
Is Robin Hood Men in Tights? Is that a good movie? J. Robert Dean said, "G, be careful. MCU could be the first MCU film with a BTS soundtrack." Hey, listen, it could absolutely happen, and I'm okay with that.
That gonna be
I'd be
fine.
okay with that. Are we ready for the next Ant-Man and the Wasp movie? Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to be important.
Hold on. That's a comment that comes from somebody who expects these movies to be catered to them and them only.
Doesn't it feel that way?
That's exactly what that shit is, because there's a whole lot of people out there who don't like black or diverse movies because it don't look like them, who say the same type of shit that he just said.
Well, that's
So
true.
if you're going to have that kind of mentality, my guy, let's have it 100 across the board,
all the way
and let's
around.
just say
Here's
that
the
you're not for everybody to have everything represent them.
Let me tell you something. Here's the thing. J. Robert Deans doesn't like anything I like, and all the things that I don't like, he likes. It's just how it worked out. It's just how it worked out. Zayna said my eyes are large. Brooks is best when he works with Gene Wilder. I mean, all right. I'm not gonna completely take that away from you.
Let's stop focusing on focusing on him, because
I don't want to
no
talk about
longer
Spaceballs anymore.
Yeah, he's no
I
longer
don't want to
part
talk
of
about
the
Spaceballs
conversation.
anymore.
All right,
But
I'm tired of hearing his name. All right, let's move forward. I'm the guest, not him. All right, fuck him.
You are the guest. He said that's not true. You know that's true. You're right. This is what I want to do, because we can speculate about Black Panther all day. It's easy to do that. But what I want to do is I want to talk about this Phase 5 list of films that they announced. Now,
Okay.
Hellspawned, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this lineup? This I'm gonna run it down real quick. Is that cool?
Right.
All right. First movie of Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Okay, because remember, I saw shit that y'all didn't see.
Well, okay, and that's okay.
Well,
So
we got
feel
our
free.
we got our
think I know
insider,
more.
our whole
Feel free.
H insider.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, because some things immediately come off as whack because it's Ant-Man. You know what I mean? Like, who really
that doesn't
cares?
bother me.
Type shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that doesn't bother me.
you know,
Yeah.
but see, the thing is that the footage that they showed from that and Secret Invasion, you know what I mean? Like, dog, like
Yeah.
that's gonna be a problem. You know, that's gonna be a whole ass problem.
Is okay. Is there something we didn't get to see that you feel like they should have shown everyone?
Secret Invasion, straight up.
Oh, I can add that.
Okay.
Dog, it's Winter Soldier, but with people's faces changing in front of motherfucking Nick Fury
Oh,
because the scrolls. Like
we've been talking about this for I don't know how long.
Dog, like it because it's it didn't. So the whole thing is like Fury's been off world for years, and
Sure.
you know, of course, we know that Talos has been in his place, but he comes back when he realizes that Rhodey. Now, again, you don't see Armor Wars on
Armor
none
Wars
of
was
these.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is that? Right, I don't know, but Rhodey is
But
a
I
focus.
think that's because that's supposed to be part of this phase, and not. I don't think that's that far out.
I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
speak on. I don't know.
Still
But
don't have a release date.
but the thing is, it looks like they removed it from the slate altogether.
Yeah.
Possible.
Right. But Rhodey is a focus because he is some sort of like he's either he has a security detail, and Fury has to ask him, "What do you know about your people?" And he says, "I don't know." And then as soon as one of them approaches Rhodey or approaches somebody who is supposed to be one of Rhodey's like security dudes, the rest of the fucking room stands up and their faces change to be the same guy that's right there.
Oh,
And you're just like, shit, because you don't know all
You have
you
no
don't
idea
know.
who's who.
Mhm.
You don't, you know, and like I said, it was
Hey,
Winter
dog.
Soldier.
Oh,
They
man.
went back to that well of like political espionage type shit. Like shit is
Mhm.
dark.
One of them look like Terrence Howard, please.
Ah,
Listen.
come on, man.
Hey, dog, listen to me. In
Maybe
Secret
next
Invasion,
time.
bro. If just I get one scroll
You want to
that just looks like Terrence Howard, bro,
Best Disney
I'm
Plus series.
lose I'm gonna lose it. And what if? Sure, I'm down. Ronnie Roberts said, "I can guarantee that Feige MCU fashion stuff will be added or even dropped along the way."
Oh
and
no,
that's
absolutely, and I love that,
not main. Yeah, I do too. Like,
man.
but but look, here's the thing about that though. I don't mind. So I'm excited about the slate, right? But like we know that a lot of stuff got moved and pushed and adjusted because of what happened with the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heather also makes a great point. Something I was going to bring up is that D23 is still there, and we know that they're saving some announcements for D23,
Mhm.
right? And so it could be that we'll get the information we really want about Armor Wars there. It could be that some of the trailers they showed people at Hall H, everybody else will get to see. You know what I mean? When that happens,
Yeah.
I'm hopeful though that what they did show. We got to go through the rest of the slate though. This is the order they gave us, at least as far as what we know. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in
That was a dope trailer.
February next year. Okay.
Dope
Secret
trailer.
Invasion, Disney Plus in spring of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
That was
Go.
that was an emotional trailer.
Okay. I can believe that.
I heard about that
5/5.
one.
So that's May 5th. Echo. I'm excited about Echo. Just because it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something different. So the idea of getting something that's a character that isn't super well known, that just kind of like I like that idea. That's summer of 23. So we got Loki season 2 on Disney Plus in summer of 23. Then we have the Marvels in July. I think that's going to be a super important film. Whether it will be good remains to be seen. but I think it's going to be super important.
Mhm.
I'm amped for it.
Let
Just
me
off the trailer,
respond
Miss
to
Marvel.
Rodney Roberts. He says they announced the next 3 phases with no Spider-Man in sight. Dog, they only announced 2 movies in phase 6, my guy.
Six.
Yeah,
Like, relax.
yeah.
They can
They
drop.
And
got
And-
the entire phase 6 blank except for those 2 movies.
except for the
And
two.
technically, Spider-Man doesn't really exist in the eyes of some of these characters the way
No.
he was before.
No.
Well, Peter
Spider-Man
Parker.
exists.
Let me
Peter Parker
rephrase.
does.
Let me
Yeah, I was gonna
rephrase.
say, what are you
Let
talking
me
about?
rephrase. Let me
Hell no.
rephrase.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sony and them, they got to get that together.
No, they
Well,
could
that's
be on
another
their own.
thing.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I was like, Sony's still on their own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into Spider-Man because if I start,
how you gonna have a Craven that loves animals?
yeah, let's just not.
That
How
Sony's
you
world,
gonna have a Morbius that Morbius is? I just like this. Like they should just leave it alone.
Yeah, I
Sony's
paid for that in the
little
theater.
world-
Oh gosh,
Can't.
Sony's
right
little world
now-
that they're trying to do is just
terrible.
Madam
the
Web?
only thing I'm excited about is the next animated. That joint looks like it's gonna be a problem. Yes, Kayla said she never looked forward to Echo. Zayna said they did already say the Spider Daredevil thing, still leaving the street level heroes. And again, I appreciate
I
that.
saw.
After Marvels, we get Blade in November, and I'm all in. I'm
Wait,
all in.
that's
for
one.
it.
And that
Yeah.
I think that's coming off of the Eternals back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's where that's coming from.
Yeah. Absolutely. So then we have Ironheart on Disney Plus, which will be interesting to see how that pans out with her having a show after her introduction in Black Panther and the time frame that's going to pass between that movie coming out and when that show hits.
Oh, Ty, don't, no.
First of all, I expect that from
Turn the
the
comments off.
fanboy.
Turn the comments off. Turn the comments
I'll
off.
put that right on the screen so everybody can see it.
People come in here and start popping shit, and we never get to what we need to
This
get.
is how Ty is. This
is
is how
normal.
he is.
I want you to
Yeah, this
understand this
always.
is normal. Like we don't.
Yeah.
The show being on the rails is super uncommon. Zayna said that 20 minutes ago, IGN said that Harry Styles will return to the MCU. I think he's getting a show. I don't want Harry Styles to have a show, but I
Hey, if Harry Styles is getting a show, that means that it's going to be about Thanos and that entire
It is.
family.
Mhm.
It
So and then
Which
also
That
like
could
the origin of like the Eternals and the Celestials type shit. So that might be dope.
It could be dope.
It might be
could
dope.
be dope.
So like just trust
I'm
the
gonna need him
process.
to return somewhere else first before they just give him a whole.
Give him his own.
But again, there's so much happening. Let me finish going through this slate.
Try. You may get through the slate.
Sam said, "You think Spidey could show up in Daredevil show as a teaser or something?" Absolutely, he could. Let Harry live his life. We love Harry in this house, and you know it. Hold on a second. Who is we? Let me start there. Let me move on. So after Ironheart, we have Agatha Covenant Chaos. I'm very interested in that.
They changed the name.
They
Yeah.
did. Yes.
It used to be House of Harkness. Now it's like the Covenant of Chaos. Like, oh, okay.
I like that. It makes more sense to me. And this is by far the most interesting thing on this entire slate to me. Daredevil, Born Again.
Born Again.
Now, here's the thing about this show. They confirmed that this show is going to be 18 episodes.
Goddamn episodes. 18. All those hallway fight scenes.
Give me a second. Sam, put that on the screen. I need to address this. I'll put it on the screen. You love Harry Styles just like the rest of us. I said so. I'll deal with you when the show's over. you ever treat me like that? Hey, listen. This show better be good. You get a Daredevil tattoo soon. We might need to discuss that.
Type of conversation.
Kidlet. We might need to discuss that, Kidlet.
Sidebar.
But it also, yes, it better be good.
I'm
Listen, 18 episodes. Now, look, I have no idea. With all these other shows that they announced, right?
Mhm.
We could be getting away from the 6 to 9 episode thing for Disney Plus. It's totally possible that that's happening anyway. But announcing specifically that Daredevil is getting 18 episodes means to me that Kevin Feige and Feige, we trust Feige,
Yep.
understands what Daredevil did and what it meant in the form it was already in. Now, whether or not this show meets that same thing is going to be hard to say. I do honestly believe we're still going to stay in like a very PG-13 realm, but we don't have to because we're already rated R on Disney Plus.
And what if season 2 is TVMA?
Oh, TVMA.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So I don't. No,
So
and then
we
and
can.
what's also funny is that season 3 of the Netflix Daredevil was tailored to the Born Again like storyline. So
Sure.
how is this going to be like different
or
if
pick up? Yeah.
right?
It's gonna be super. Brian, don't encourage her. Let me just say that. We don't specifically know that it's a continuation of the Netflix show, Zaina. We don't know for sure. Heather's right. Deadpool is on Disney Plus now. So again, look, and I think that that's important to note. I am, for some reason, the idea of 18 episodes makes me way more hopeful for this Daredevil show than I would be if they said we're doing 6 or we're doing 9.
The facts.
18 feels, for the amount of money that they put into 6 episodes or 9 episodes, 18 is a big deal. And so it also makes me wonder whether or not this is going to mean that Daredevil won't just be Daredevil. If in some way the Defenders are worked into this, that we may see these other characters in some manner in this show. Yeah, and I think that would be smart. But it could be very interesting, especially because of the opportunity to work from the lawyer angle. And with She-Hulk coming,
I was about to say that. Yeah,
it just there's
I think
a
lot of cameos that could show up in it. Yeah.
The way that I see it, if the street level heroes has not been explored by the MCU, you're gonna have 18 episodes to expound upon all of that and to go into the crime syndicates. You know what I mean? It's not just the big things like 10 rings, but we're talking about like, we could get Hammerhead. You know what I'm saying? We can get Tombstone. Like these are some like shits that we can like like I'm in the middle of the Spectacular Spider-Man that just got on Netflix.
Yeah.
That series, like I didn't know it was a thing, but 26 episodes, this shit is dope, yo. This is the best version of Venom I've seen, as far as the way that he taunted him, that man. But the way that they're going into like the Silvermane and Mannheim and Altman. Well, Mannheim is DC, excuse me. I'm thinking about that shit. But yeah, like it's there's a lot that can be done with this story. If Spidey and Daredevil are going to be the leads in the street level stuff, just let it flow. Like there's so much shit they could do, and they could do it cheap. They can do it cheap.
They don't got to worry about too much CGI with Daredevil.
Absolutely. Yep. And I think that there's a lot more potential for a Spider-Man to show up in some manner because nobody knows he's Peter Parker anymore. I think that doing that just allows for a lot more of that, right? And to really allow us to enjoy living in the city that the comics has created by saying like all these people live like up the street from each other, like
right down the street from each other.
You know what I mean? Which I think is really dope, right? I was a gang war, straight up. So after Daredevil, Captain America: New World Order. I'm gonna tell you now, I don't like the title.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I love the way the internet has ran with it.
Oh yes, sure. I started as soon as that title dropped. I was like, "Let's go!"
Yeah.
The best one I've seen is the one with they redid the intro with all of Sam Wilson
with all them in there.
Yeah, the black and white joint. That was cool.
I mean, I'm down for. I'm gonna tell you now. I think that title changes. I don't think that title sticks. I don't think it's gonna stick. I know that they put money into it, but I don't think it sticks.
Tony hit it.
too sweet. We don't like that. Sam says spoiler for the whole trailer that Charlie Cox been confirmed for She-Hulk, or is it a different actor?
As far as we can tell, I would think it's him. I mean, Feige said he is the MCU's Daredevil. So
I mean, he's already been cast in No Way Home. Why would they do somebody else?
Yeah. That's in there.
But hey, multiverse. So hey,
Absolutely.
Or Scrolls.
Oh,
absolutely. Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we've talked about that many times on this show,
Many
and
times.
what direction they're going. I got some excitement. I just want to know if there's a Red Hulk. That's all I really need. I want to know if there's a Red Hulk. Give me a Red Hulk or Venom, and we might have a problem. And then we go into Phase 6, and so it's just Fantastic Four, which I know you're excited for, Sin.
No, sir.
Avengers: The Kang Dynasty.
Yes, sir.
And Avengers: Secret Wars.
Yes.
Man. Is Secret Wars going to end with Battle World and bring the multiverse back together?
Or bring it? You mean make it like the one? Bring it
all into one cohesive.
Yep.
So that we can have.
Yo, wouldn't that be some shit if by the time we get to that, Disney strikes a deal to buy all the components from Sony back?
Yep.
Perfect. Fuck your deal.
Hey, that's perfect. Hey, I can't wait for the meme to come out that has like the two Earths colliding, and it's like the Marvel Earth and then like the Sony one that just gobbles it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
they already got Fox back.
That's right.
And Paramount.
And that's so. Look, is Namor a mutant?
Yes.
In the comics, he's the first mutant.
Mm-hmm.
Is Namor a mutant in this?
I'm gonna
wait.
Yeah.
First mutant as far as publication?
Yes.
Or first mutant as in like
not like Apocalypse.
I mean,
you know,
we gotta specify. Yeah.
All right. As of right now, Miss Marvel's the first mutant. Like, you know.
Ty, I love you. Just be quiet sometimes, bro.
Hey, Ty, look, man. Hey, listen, bro. I swear, I'm gonna talk about Shazam. Just relax. Give us a minute.
Listen.
And I am looking forward to Stargirl.
No shade though. For real, Stargirl is that shit. Like,
sure.
I'm looking forward to season 3.
No, like them kids be getting busy. Like
they do. Hey, no, that last season with Hourglass Man and what's her name in the bathroom? Oh, they was getting busy.
Yeah, like they be throwing hands more than Oliver Queen did. So yeah, I'm all for it. But
I don't got no problems with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd, just wait your turn.
House of M, that's not coming until 2028.
Yeah,
Chill
if they
out.
do anything. I mean, again, like here's the thing. I don't think that happened. I don't think we get a House of M.
Yeah,
I think we've gotten the closest thing, like, because House of M was designed to undo mutants, and now we have mutants, and so.
But it could tell the story how it happened, because
sure.
as far as we know, mutants have been here the entire time.
Sure,
you know what I mean. But
it can absolutely be that something happened. It happened on one of the other in one of the other universes.
But look, y'all, stop worrying about the fucking mutants. This is the multiverse saga, right? This is not the mutants saga.
Sure.
Like we got the first X-Men movie in 2000, and we just got the last one in what? When was Logan? 2020?
Nah.
Even after Logan.
No,
Logan.
No, I'm talking about for the Fox X-Men movie.
2017.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say that was
Logan came out in 2017.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. That joint definitely didn't happen during the pandemic. That's for sure. Like Logan didn't happen during the pandemic. 2020 was like when the pandemic is. So,
all right, but still, like, you know,
17 years of X-Men movies,
including Deadpool. So, you know, Deadpool 2 came out when. I'm just saying, like, yeah, we've had a lot of X-Men movies, whether it be First Class, whether it be
like
all of them. Let them chill.
2018.
Like y'all are so eager to get something that we've already had. This lets me know that your imagination isn't nowhere where it needs to be.
You know, the thing is, I think it's just one of those things. I think for a lot of people, what it is that Kevin Feige has done, quote unquote, like the unimaginable, right? Because, like, let's keep it real. Iron Man's fluke. That's just what it is. Iron Man's fluke. And was fluke at the time they put him out, and it kind of took off. And like what is created with the MC, I think it's really just people want to see what would happen if he could actually get control over and have it. Now, again, we've talked on this show plenty of times. I don't want to see none of the X-Men we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
If you do anything that's X-Men, I want it to be all characters we've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
Except Iceman.
Iceman
Iceman can come through.
We've done that before with the.
I would accept a rogue that has her powers and actually zaps Captain Marvel.
Game in the Rogue, and I'm a happy camper.
Yeah,
just because they're my favorites. That's all.
We got Professor X. I got what I want. How I was talking about the whole Professor X, the Illuminati thing. It ain't necessarily the way that I wanted the Illuminati to go down, but that was just the pieces just to get it in and get it over with.
Yeah.
And obviously, we can still get another Illuminati because obviously multiverse, so we can see a different variation of them, especially with like Namor coming into the picture and all of that. So I got Professor X one time in the MCU. I'm good. I'm good. I just hope that he wasn't the. I said he is the 97 one after he went missing at this point. If that is, that sucks now.
No, that was Earth 838. But honestly, like, question.
Sure.
Wild speculation. Okay. Just a fan cast type deal. What do you think about Mark Strong as Professor X? Imagine what he looks like in Kingsman, and then just put him in a chair with a suit.
I mean, I'm not against it. I just don't. I shouldn't say I don't want Professor X. Nah, sure, I don't want Professor X. Like.
So wait. At what stage do you want to see the X-Men in when you see these people?
I mean, to be honest with you, like if I could do a run of X-Men, I could do an Emma Frost run. I'd be okay with that.
Rumors they've casted an Emma Frost, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, like, so X-Men 97 is picking up with Magneto in charge of the X-Men. It'll be interesting to see if what they do with X-Men 97 is actually tied to the MCU in some actual manner. Speaking of which, I did speak to Jerry today, and I know that some of y'all know that Jerry had not been doing well. He does work on X-Men 97, but he's a good friend of ours. I did speak to him today. He's doing much better, so I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Good.
I don't know. But I'm excited for it, but you know how it is. Like, you don't want them to mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, don't mess it up. I think that we have had. So my thing is, there are so many mutants that I don't think we need an X-Men. I don't think we need an X-Men movie. I don't think we need an X-Men show. I think X-Men 97 is enough for me personally, right? And then there are so many mutants that we don't even have to like. Look, clearly we're gonna end up going down the road again of like mutants and them not being okay and humans being afraid, and like we're gonna go down that road again. It just feels so rehashed. I'm not sure that that's what I want. I think that what's happening in the comics right now, they may be building towards something that makes more sense, and for them to not have to like retread the same stuff that we've already seen or already done. And we'll see. I'm not looking for an Avengers versus X-Men. None of the Avengers are around anymore. They're all too old to be in, you know what I mean? Clearly a Young Avengers thing is happening. That's just, it is what it is. I'm good with that. Like, I like the idea of them continuing to kind of pull more obscure characters and bring them to the forefront. You know what I mean? Bring them to the light that, even if they were fan favorites in some way in the back, like Moon Knight, I think is going to continue to be super popular amongst people who had no idea, you know what I mean, that a Moon Knight was even a thing. And I think that's dope. And that's kind of what I want to see. Like, I like the idea of Guardians of the Galaxy because Guardians of the Galaxy has had so many different teams throughout time, not unlike the Avengers, that they can just kind of start switching people out and changing things and bringing new people in and adding and continue with the franchise without it necessarily even being the same character. So I think that's dope. But we'll have this. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. Just because Ty is in the chat.
little something for him.
Hey Ty, I'm gonna let you pick, Ty, because we're not watching both. You want to watch Black Adam, or you want to watch Shazam? I'll let you pick. Maybe he's because I will say this: I like this. The new She-Hulk trailer makes me feel way better about that series than I did off the trailer. Like I got a much better sense of like where the story is going. I'm just gonna pick. Let's do. What do you want? Which one you want to see, Sin?
Shazam.
All right, let's go. I like it. And begin.
I'm an idiot.
Sure.
I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow! There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it. Aquaman is literally huge and he's so manly. And Batman is so cool. And I'm just me.
Yeah, you notice how he ain't say nothing about Batman having powers?
I feel like a fraud. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the wizard gave me superpowers. And then everybody got superpowers. Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
You understand I'm a pediatrician, right?
Come on!
Listen to me. The fate of the world depends on it. The daughters of Atlas are coming for you.
Children show the power of all the gods. This is very personal, Billy.
I agree, Jake.
Look, I might not have as much experience as you because I'm not super old like you, but I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about...
Let's go.
I knew Sin was going to be so excited.
Same fire.
Whatever. I cracked up when I first saw that.
The world will not survive this.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
I think I know how to fix this too, but I really don't.
Yeah.
Everyone can be worthy if given a chance. Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
That was Lucy Liu.
Oh yeah, that was Lucy
Yes, it
Liu.
was.
And I was gonna say, J. Robert Dean's talked about Helen Mirren. I'm in the Lucy Liu camp though. I just got to let you know. Yeah, look, I think the first Shazam,
I'm an idiot.
and that's exactly right. I think the first Shazam is the best DCEU film they made.
I do too.
Now Wonder Woman.
No.
Hell no.
No. 84 gets a hell no.
Yes.
The first one was solid.
No.
That's the first one that popped in my head just
I
because it was so
said,
bad.
I said Wonder Woman. I didn't say it.
You didn't say
Yeah. 84 is terrible. Wonder Woman's good. I think Shazam is better. I think Shazam is better.
Shazam is more fun, but and then I guess Aquaman was too bloated, too long, right?
Yeah, it's just a little too. I feel like they weren't sure what they wanted to do with that character, so they just kind of, Aquaman is kind of like, I feel like our Thor. Like, he's just kind of like all over the place. Is he funny? Is he not? Is he serious? Is he not? Is he angry? Is he not? Is he, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, so I think for that it drags, and then, I don't have anything against Amber Heard being in that movie, but,
Nah.
Let's see. Sam said, "Oh no, I get that, Jay." But I'm just saying, like, no. They're both my speed. But I'm in the Luke camp. I just want you to know that. Alfonso says Shazam needs to grow up a little, especially if going to face Black Adam. I mean, I think this is going to be maybe what that is. I think he's going to grow up something here, but we'll
start,
see how how that pans out. I mean, we'll get Black Adam first, and then we'll get Shazam. So we'll see what that what that means. Sam said I'm not the biggest fan of Shazam, but I'll sit through it. Always a chance. I like it. Plus, they got the young one from the West Side Story reboot. Indeed. Sam, did you see the first one? Because, again, if you like the first one, I would hope you like this one. Aquaman forced too much into one film. They made a weird choice to make two films, then one, then force both stories into one film. Sure. First one was good. Final Fight was bad. Absolutely. Final Fight ruined it. It was terrible. Killed it for me. Look, there was a lot of other news that happened in San Diego. There was a lot that came down. There were a lot of toys. I had a bunch of pictures of toys. I just wanted to show y'all, but I'm not. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna get some. But Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. There's Marvel Legends for Spider-Man is Amazing Friends, and I have to have an Iceman. I have to have an Iceman.
Of course you do.
That's a thing. Look, we're gonna wrap this up, and here's what that means. First and foremost, Jokes, you have a job to do.
Gotcha.
One more time, our Beacons link is going up. For anybody who is not already following us across the board, please go follow us across the board. Again, we're working on raising enough money to get Shin to dance on TikTok for Extra Life. So y'all just
Jokes ain't gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Jumps on that. Yeah, we're not even gonna have him try it. I'll handle it. Sin, you have a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dodge, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Love and greatly appreciate you all. Hellspawn, I want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight, for joining us, with us. I hope you're not too jet lagged from your trip to San Diego. I know how that can be.
Yeah, I'm recovering.
Okay. That's a good thing. One more time, if you could put his link tree up for me, please, Jokes. Again, one more time, you all jump in. Follow Hellspawn across the board. Awesome dude, awesome cosplay, doing some great things in the space. And we love and appreciate you for that. Zaina, let's see. Getting ready to take control of the show. Before we go, your Lego news. New sets come out on Monday. Probably high demand for a lot of them, so be sure to go through and see what day one releases you need. I think it'll be rough. All right, just tell me what I gotta get. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me what I gotta get. Thank you, Candace. Great show. J. Robert Deans, man, you got bills to pay. We know how it goes. So look, Sim, real quick before we get out of here, what's happening on Thursday?
Thursday, we are doing our Thriller Park in the Discord channel. We are watching Paranoia Agent. We are actually going to finish it this week, episodes 9 through 13, 8 p.m. So if you want to join in, 8 o'clock in our Discord, hit the Thriller Park channel. We will be there watching it and seeing how this psychological thriller is going to turn out. So looking forward to that.
I have to ask, like, I see the Thriller Park thing. So y'all are One Piece fans, right?
Yeah, I'm a One Piece fan. I mean, yeah.
Did you have to think about that, Sid? Why did you have to think about that? Why did you have to think about that?
You don't know, because people who usually come on know I'm a One Piece fan like that. So, just threw you off.
I mean, think about it. Okay, so because the thing is, like, I got hit with some news today that I didn't know was that Oda came out and said that,
Big D energy.
Yeah, he was like, now that we got the crew formed, now we can start the One Piece.
Yeah.
I like, my nigga, it took you 1,050 episodes, 25 years just to form the crew?
During One Piece Day, he's been doing interviews, celebrating everything, and he's been giving off that energy, saying that exact thing. Oh no, these 1,050 chapters is just forming the crew. We're now about to start really getting busy. Like he's really out there now.
This man has secured like his job security for the next 25 years.
It's a wrap. Oh yeah.
Imagine?
Oh yeah.
Like this is like the greatest con ever, where he's drawing this shit out just by.
Well, he says he wants to finish the manga in 3 years. So manga 3 years, I guess anime in 4, and then it's a wrap. Let him rest. We know he needs it, and then if you want to come back and do something else later, I'm okay with that. But finish this, please. Keep your health together and finish this. and then please get all the rest that you possibly want.
Yeah, bro.
I
Can you
just want this
imagine what's
finished.
gonna happen if this joint doesn't get finished, bro?
Oh my gosh, it would shut down the Japanese economy.
It's like J.R.R. Martin getting sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, J.
Exactly.
Robert, I breathe and eat One Piece.
That's very true. It's a very true thing. So look, we have Otakon this weekend. So if you're gonna be at Otakon, if you see us, by all means, say hi. We'll be kind of all over the place because that's y'all know how we do. So if you see us, Heather, say hi, just in case. We always love running into you all and talking to you and seeing you in person. So by all means, make sure you check. You know, if you see us, run up on us. Not if we're like if we're in the middle of shooting something, like don't just like run up in the middle of that. But like if we're not shooting something, then by all means run up and say hi. Next week, we're gonna talk about the possibility of Microsoft buying Netflix. This is a real thing that is apparently a possibility, and y'all know how I am with this stuff. There are some things that are already happening, and there are analysts who seem to believe that Netflix might be setting themselves up to be purchased. They have a deal with Microsoft to run their ads on their new ad version of Netflix. There's a whole lot going on. That's next week. So we'll recap Otakon, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and whatever other news happens in between now and then. For now, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us, all of you who are in the chat, for dropping comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that, like people on the streaming services tell you to do. Just try them for us once or twice. Don't forget to hit the like button. And Jokes, can I close the show?
Yes, you can close the show.
Thank you. So, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't mean it's a good idea. With that, we're out. Toodles and lose.